Who are you in the universe? Have you ever stood under a night sky looking up at the stars and suddenly felt small? Not in a bad way, but in a way that makes you wonder, what am I doing here? Is there something bigger out there? Watching me, guiding me? Or maybe you were walking quietly down a street one afternoon. Nothing special was happening. But then out of nowhere, you felt something stir inside you. Like there was a deeper truth hidden beneath everyday life, just waiting for you to discover it. If you've ever had moments like that, moments that made you pause, feel, and question, then I have something important to tell you. You're not imagining it. You're not overthinking. You're not being too spiritual or too sensitive. You're simply waking up. And the thing you're waking up to is something ancient, beautiful, and far more powerful than most people ever realize. It's called universal consciousness. And once you start to feel its presence in your life, nothing, absolutely nothing, will ever feel the same again. In this video, we're going to explore, what is universal consciousness? How can you connect with it in your daily life? And most importantly, how does it transform your spiritual awakening and help you come back home to yourself? You don't need to be a monk. You don't need to sit in silence for 10 hours a day. You just need one thing: an open heart. The rest, the universe will take care of it. What is universal consciousness? Let's make it simple. Imagine that universal consciousness is like an invisible ocean, vast, deep, and everywhere. And you're a single drop of water in that ocean. But here's the magic: that single drop contains the essence of the whole ocean. You are not separate from it. You are made of it. Universal consciousness isn't some old man in the sky with a beard watching and judging. It's not a figure on a throne or a name you must call out. It is a field of living intelligence pulsing through all things. A quiet presence behind every leaf, every sound, every heartbeat. It doesn't shout, it doesn't force. But when you slow down enough to listen, you'll notice it's been whispering to you all along. Have you ever had a moment when your gut told you something and you were right? Ever had a dream that came true, or met a stranger who somehow changed your life right when you needed it most? That's not coincidence. That's not luck. That's the ocean gently tapping your shoulder saying, I'm here. You're not alone. Universal consciousness is what connects all of us. It's the silent rhythm behind nature, time, and life itself. It doesn't care about religion or language or how spiritual you are. It simply is, and it's waiting for you to remember that you are part of it. You don't need to become anyone new to connect with it. You just need to remove the noise that made you forget who you already are. Because deep down, beneath all the labels and worries and distractions, there's a quiet you, a still loving awareness. And that awareness is the same thread woven through every soul, every tree, every star. That's universal consciousness. And the moment you realize you've always been part of it, everything begins to shift. The signs that you're starting to connect with universal consciousness. So how do you know it's happening? How do you know you're not just imagining things, that you're actually beginning to awaken to touch something deeper, something real? Well, it doesn't always show up like thunder or lightning. Sometimes it's quiet, soft, almost invisible. But if you pay attention, you'll start to notice the signs. One, you start seeing connections everywhere. You think of someone and they suddenly message you. You keep seeing the same number, 11 and 11 3777. You hear a song with the lyrics that answer a question you were just asking in your mind. Coincidence? Maybe. But deep down, something tells you no. This means something. It's the universe showing you that you are more connected than you think. Two, you become sensitive to noise and negativity. You used to enjoy the gossip, the fast news, the endless scrolling. But now it drains you. You feel exhausted by drama. You crave silence, peace, something real. That's not weakness. That's wisdom. Your soul is starting to reject what no longer feeds it. Three, you start asking deeper questions. Not just what should I eat today, but why am I here? What lights me up inside? What would my life look like? If I live from the heart, you're no longer satisfied with surface answers. You want meaning. You want truth. You want your truth. Four, your intuition becomes stronger. You don't know why, but you just feel it. That person doesn't feel right. That place gives you peace. That choice is calling you. And when you follow that inner voice, things somehow flow. That's your internal compass. That's universal consciousness speaking through you. You sense a bigger presence watching over you. You can't name it, you can't touch it, but you feel it. Like something is gently guiding you, nudging you, loving you, even when no one else is around. You may call it God, the universe, the source, spirit, or nothing at all, but it doesn't matter because what you're feeling is real. And it means you're waking up. These signs aren't just spiritual fluff. They're invitations, whispers from the vast intelligence that's been here all along. You don't need to chase them. You just need to slow down long enough to notice them. How to deepen the connection with universal consciousness. So now that you've started to notice the signs, what's next? How do you go from catching glimpses of the universe to actually living in alignment with it every single day? The answer isn't complicated. It's not about reading 50 books or traveling to the Himalayas. It starts with presence. 1. Silence the noise. Turn off your phone for a while. Step away from the news, the endless opinions, the mental clutter. You don't need to escape the world. You just need to tune into a quieter frequency. Sit in stillness for 10 minutes a day. No goal, no pressure. Just listen. At first it might feel empty, but keep showing up. The universe loves consistency. 2. Observe without clinging. Your thoughts will come like clouds drifting across the sky. But you are the sky, not the cloud. Watch your emotions rise and fall. Let go of judgment. Let go of the need to fix or solve everything. That's when clarity appears. That's when space opens up for truth to enter. 3. Practice gratitude daily. Not just for the big stuff, but for the small forgotten things. A warm shower, a kind word, a bird singing outside your window. Gratitude shifts your frequency. It tells the universe, I'm listening, I'm ready, and the universe, it responds. 4. Infuse mindfulness into daily tasks, washing dishes, walking to the store, folding laundry. Make these sacred. Feel your feet on the ground. Notice the water on your hands. Breathe. Universal consciousness is not far away. It's right here in every moment you fully show up. You don't need to do more. You just need to be more aware of what's already here. The power of universal consciousness and spiritual awakening. When you begin to truly connect with universal consciousness, something shifts. You stop living on autopilot. You stop chasing things outside of you to feel enough. You stop trying to fit into boxes that were never meant for you. Instead, you begin to feel life again. Colors seem brighter. Moments feel fuller. Even silence becomes comforting, not scary. This is the power of awakening through universal consciousness. It's not about floating above the clouds detached from reality. It's about being so rooted in truth that the noise of the world no longer shakes you. You start to forgive more easily. You feel compassion not just for others, but finally for yourself. You let go of the need to prove, perform, or perfect. Because now you remember who you are. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are a part of something ancient, loving, and intelligent. You are a thread in the great tapestry of existence. And as that realization deepens, fear begins to loosen its grip. You stop needing to control everything. You begin to trust that life is unfolding exactly as it should. Even the hard moments, even the uncertainty, even the times when you feel lost. Because you realize you're never truly lost. You've just been walking with your eyes closed. And now you're waking up, one breath at a time. A personal story, a moment of deep connection. I want to tell you a story, not something from a book, not a quote from a spiritual teacher, but a real moment, one that changed everything for me. It was during a time in my life when I was completely burnt out, always chasing deadlines, always trying to be someone, always feeling like it was never enough. My mind was noisy, my heart was tired, and my soul, it felt far away. One evening after a long chaotic day, I came home and did something I rarely allowed myself to do. I sat down. No music, no phone, no distractions, just stillness. At first I felt uncomfortable, like I was wasting time, like I should be doing something productive. But something inside whispered, just stay. So I did. And in that stillness, something cracked open. Not dramatically, not with fireworks, just gently. It was like a quiet presence showed up. No words, no face, just this warm, invisible knowing you are held. You are loved. You can stop running now. I didn't see the universe, but I felt it, like it had always been there, patiently waiting for me to slow down enough to notice. In that moment, I didn't have answers, but I had peace, and that peace was more real than anything I had been chasing. Since that day, I've stopped searching for awakening like it's a finish line. Instead, I choose to return again and again to the present moment, to breathe, to listen, to trust. And each time I do, I feel that quiet presence again. Not always loud, not always dramatic, but always there. So if you've ever felt alone on this journey, please know this: you're not alone. The universe is not somewhere far away. It's already inside you, softly calling you home. Questions that open the door, inner reflection and guidance from within. Sometimes awakening doesn't begin with answers. It begins with a question, a simple, quiet question whispered inside your heart. Not, what should I do with my life, but who am I beyond all the roles, the names, the expectations? Not, how do I become successful, but what does my soul truly crave? These questions aren't meant to be solved like a puzzle. They're meant to be lived, felt, explored. Each time you ask them, not from fear but from wonder, you open a new doorway inside yourself. Maybe you felt this before. You're walking down a street and suddenly you wonder, what if everything I've believed about life isn't the full picture? Or you wake up from a dream heart pounding and hear the words, there is more. These moments aren't random. They are invitations from the universe, from your higher self, from the part of you that remembers. Here are a few questions that have gently opened my own doors. What makes me feel most alive? What do I keep ignoring even though it keeps returning? When was the last time I truly listened to myself? What would I do if I trusted life more deeply? What version of me is trying to be born? Don't rush to answer. Just let the questions sit with you. Write them down. Carry them in your heart. Ask them before you fall asleep. You may not get a voice from the sky, but maybe tomorrow you'll read a sentence that clicks, or meet someone who says exactly what you needed to hear, or feel a pull to go somewhere you didn't plan. That's the thing about awakening. It doesn't shout, it whispers. And when you start asking the right questions, you become quiet enough to hear the answers that were always there waiting. Tuning into the frequency, how to stay in alignment with universal consciousness. Connecting to universal consciousness isn't a one-time event. It's a continuous stream, like a radio frequency always transmitting. But just like with a radio, you've got to stay tuned in or you'll drift into static. Modern life, it's noisy. Emails, deadlines, notifications, conversations. So many distractions pulling you away from that subtle yet powerful signal. But don't worry, here's how to stay aligned and naturally and gently. Adjust your emotional frequency. Emotions are energy signals. When you're feeling grateful, joyful, loving, you're vibrating high. When you're caught in fear, anger, doubt, your frequency lowers. And hey, we're human. We're going to dip into heavy emotions sometimes. The trick is not to stay there. Ask yourself, what feeling can I choose now that feels a little lighter? Sometimes it's not about forcing happiness. It's about finding one soft breath of peace. 2. Be mindful of what you consume. What are you feeding your mind? Every article you read, every conversation you join, every video you watch, it's all energy you're taking in. If you surround yourself with negativity, drama, and noise, you'll lose that connection to your inner clarity. So curate your inputs like you'd choose your food. Feed your soul, not your fear. 3. Listen to your intuition. Your intuition isn't mystical fluff. It's the language of the universe. It speaks in nudges, hunches, gut feelings. You walk into a room and feel off. You think of someone and they call. You hear a quiet, not this path inside you. That's not coincidence. That's guidance. Learn to trust that inner whisper like a trusted friend because it often knows the truth before your logic catches up. 4. Act from love, not fear. You'll feel the difference instantly. Are you saying yes because you're afraid to say no, or because your heart is open? Are you working hard to prove something, or because you're inspired? When you move from love, you sync with the highest vibration of the universe. And from that space, life begins to flow, not fight. 5. Let go of perfect alignment. Some days you'll feel lit up, clear, peaceful. Other days you'll feel scattered or heavy. Both are okay. You don't have to be in tune all the time. You just have to keep returning gently, like tuning a radio back to its station. A small walk, a few deep breaths, a silent moment. That's enough to reconnect. The collective awakening. How your inner light impacts the world. You might think it's just me. I'm one person. How can my spiritual awakening really affect the world? But here's the truth. You are not just one drop in the ocean. You are the ocean in one drop. And when you awaken, the ripples spread far beyond what your eyes can see. 1. Your energy shapes your environment. Ever walked into a room and felt instantly calm just because one person was peaceful, or tense because someone was radiating anxiety? That's not imagination. That's energetic reality. Your inner state doesn't stay inside. It flows outward through your words, your presence, your choices. So every time you choose kindness over blame, patience over anger, love over judgment, you're shifting the energy field around you and inviting others to rise too. 2. The butterfly effect of awakening. Imagine this: you heal a part of yourself that once carried pain. You stop yelling at your kids the way your parents did with you. You learn to listen, to breathe, to hold space for someone struggling. You break a cycle. And in doing that, you don't just change your life, you change your lineage. Your kids, your friends, your partner, they feel it. They shift too. And the people they touch shift again. Spiritual awakening isn't just personal, it's generational, it's social, it's planetary. 3. The new earth is built from within. So many of us are waiting for the world to change. But maybe, just maybe, the world is waiting for us to change. Each person who awakens adds another light to the global web of consciousness. More compassion, more presence, more courage. The more of us who live from that place, the faster the collective shift becomes. Yes, it might not be on the news. Yes, the world still has pain and chaos. But underground, quietly, powerfully, a new world is being born through the hearts of awakened souls. 4. You are never alone on this journey. Even when the people around you don't understand your path, even when you feel like the odd one out, even when it's lonely to grow while others stay the same, remember this: there are millions waking up just like you, all over the world, quietly, deeply. And when one of us rises, we create space for another to rise too. So never underestimate the power of your awakening. It matters. You matter. You started this video with a question: is there something bigger guiding me? Now perhaps you have your answer. Yes, there is a greater intelligence. Yes, you are part of it. Yes, you're being guided. But the most beautiful part, you don't have to figure it all out. You just have to stay open, stay curious, stay present. The universe is already speaking to you through synchronicities, sensations, silence. Keep listening. Keep following. This is not the end. This is the beginning. If this video stirred something in your soul, drop a comment below. I am part of the awakening. Let's remind each other we are never walking this path alone. And if this message resonated, like the video to amplify this frequency, share it with someone whose heart is ready. Subscribe for more videos on awakening intuition and conscious living. Thank you for letting me walk beside you in this moment. You are light, you are loved, and the journey is just beginning.